Okay, I'm going to call this Plan Commission meeting for January 13th, 2020 to order. Roll call, please.
Chris Zellner.
Here.
Joe Zitzelberger.
Here.
Kristen Runge.
Here.
Brad Zeman.
Here.
Brian Malish.
Here.
Chris Thomas.
Here.
Brian Wallace.
Here.
Okay, full house tonight. Great. Minutes. Would anybody like anything changed, or is there any problems, or look for a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Chris Thomas, second by Kristen Runge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Public comment for items not on the agenda this evening. If anybody would like to make a comment.
I'm sorry, I didn't fill out a slip.
Okay.
Nyla Fry, 404 East Berlin Avenue, and I don't know what the process is for things coming to the Planning Commission, but I've said it at a board meeting, and I'll say it here. I hope there will be some planning going on pertaining to Water Tower Park Hill. It's important that we don't get that whole area developed and then something that would have worked great for that area can't be done because development is done, and that's my concern. I do not want to lose that hill. And we've had many hard fights over the years, and I don't want to have a hard fight because I'm getting old and I don't want to keep doing this.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, then moving on. Under new business, discuss and take action on a site plan for Warrior Soccer Stadium project at the Waunakee High School. Kevin?
Yeah, we have pretty limited staff comments. I think it'd be appropriate to have the applicant make a presentation, and then I can share with you what our limited staff comments are. We have, this area was in the town of Westport. It's not anymore. It's not in the joint planning area. So we have discussed it with the town, though, and they really didn't have any concerns.
Okay, great.
Bruce Gerland, Rattler Corporation, 3317 Business Park Drive, Stevens Point. I'm here tonight on behalf of the Waunakee Community School District we're seeking approval for the site plan for the Warrior Soccer Stadium redevelopment project. What the project includes is a new team building on the east side, that's in purple, between the existing field and the parking lot. That building's about 100 feet long, and it varies in size from about 16 feet wide to 27 feet wide. In addition to the building, we're going to reconstruct the existing field. We're planning to make that a synthetic turf field. It's going to be basically the same size and the same limits that's there now. If for some reason synthetic doesn't come in feasible, then the alternate bid will be refurbished natural grass field. The existing grandstands on the west side, there'll be no change to that area of the plaza. Between the grandstands and the concession, we're planning to have an entry arch and a gateway into the stadium, a wall of fame recognition. There's a small one there now. We're going to expand that. In addition, on the south end, there's an existing scoreboard. We're proposing to put in a new scoreboard, relocated a little bit to the west, about 50 feet, so that it can be viewed by the teams and coaches. And lastly, on the parking lot, in the west side of the parking lot, where you come out of the building to the parking lot with the pedestrian way, we're taking out about 3 parking stalls there, and then making a little spot for ingress, egress, and for drop-off. There'll really be no change to the circulation, and we've been able to make up the 3 stalls in the lot just by restriping it. So there'll be no changes to the number of stalls. There's 40 stalls there now with 2 ADA, and that's what we'll have when we're done. As far as drainage, in general, the site drains from north to south, and the field will be crowned, so it'll be draining to the east and the west. With the synthetic field, we have underdrain that goes with it. That's collected in a storm sewer system. And then we do have to meet the village stormwater requirements and the DNR stormwater and erosion control requirements. We've prepared those documents and submitted them. We've obtained the DNR and the Department of DSPS approvals for the stormwater. We're still working through review with the village, and we'll address comments that they have for that portion of it. Landscaping, there's no specific landscaping other than to refurbish areas that are disturbed with grass. Fencing is gonna be the same fencing that's there now. We're gonna try to salvage as much as we can and replace it and minimize disturbance to that. As far as the team building goes, it's about 2,226 square feet. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
Plan Commission members, questions? Or Kevin, do you have any comments to start with? Okay, Plan Commission members?
You said you're moving the scoreboard. Is the size of it changing as well?
We are bidding a new scoreboard. I don't know the size of it exactly, but I think it's a little bit bigger than the one that's there.
What's the kind of artificial turf that you're proposing?
It's synthetic turf, similar to what you see at football stadiums. In fact, similar to what the football stadium is out here at the high school.
And then are any of the 3 parking spots disabled spots that you're removing?
Are they what?
Disabled spots? The parking spots that are available in the parking lot?
I don't follow.
ADA.
Yeah, so there's 40 stalls right now, and 2 of them are ADA. And when we get done, there's still gonna be 40 stalls, and we're still gonna have 2 ADA.
Okay, Brian, any questions tonight?
Yeah, if I'm looking at this right, the field itself is the only thing that's gonna be synthetic, the remaining area around it's gonna remain natural grass.
Correct.
And you talked about collecting the stormwater within the confines of the field, where are you gonna discharge that, or is it already,
So it's gonna
right
discharge.
now with natural grass, it's, absorbing or?
There's a stormwater manhole between the south east corner and the Simon Crest Way. And we'll be discharging to the south into a swaled area, and then it will drain into the city system.
Goes across the road.
Yeah, it collects before it goes across the road.
According to the notes, they're gonna extend the line and go to a dry pond now, and it'll put it through, as we were looking through the notes. There were some questions regarding the pipe size, and it sounded like they figured that out as well.
Yeah, because you're taking that water and you're confining to a single spot, so.
Yeah, we're not quite to bidding documents yet, so the comments that came through regarding our stormwater analysis, yes, the 18-inch pipe, we had it modeled as 18, but we had it shown up as 12 on the plan, so we need to correct that. The pipe that you spoke of that comes out between the baseball field and the parking lot, we're actually collecting some stormwater, off-site stormwater that's coming from the practice field that's to the north. It flows toward the south, toward this field, and we're gonna put a little swale in and a couple of inlets and collect that water and bring it down to the south. We were gonna discharge it just past the asphalt walkway, and the comment was to extend that down to the dry detention basin. So I think that's about another 125 feet of pipe that we'll need to put in.
Is that gonna impact the softball field?
Yeah, I think that was the comment, so that it wouldn't cause a nuisance to the softball field and to the pass system, that they should daylight it over to the dry basin. So that was a comment that was raised, and they'll have to meet that.
Okay.
Kristen, comments?
I don't have any comments.
Brad, others?
Yep, no questions.
Brian? Joe?
The sidewalk that's on the southwest side of the parking lot, says there's a proposed 7-foot sidewalk. Is there a reason that doesn't connect up to the other sidewalk? You're closer to the building?
Yeah, right now, we can't do that without putting some steps in, so I need to look at the grading a little further. So right now, you come back onto the parking lot and then walk it up and take the steps that would go up.
Okay.
Is that clear, or can kind of? point
Yeah,
at the
there's a
drawing?
significant elevation grade change there
Yeah.
from the parking lot to the field, so.
I guess it just seems weird to have that sidewalk there running out to the path next to the street, but not being connected on the other side, even if there are steps required, so.
Without having some marked pathway to the
Yeah.
other sidewalk, yeah.
Yeah,
Because in general.
and we can look at that.
Yeah, I would think that parking lot is primarily used for this, so it just seems strange to send them in the other direction. Although I suppose softball and things.
Yeah, I think the thought was that at some point, people from softball might park there and be walking across to the field, or teams might be using that from softball,
Yeah.
go over.
The other question I've got, there was a note in here about water supply. And I think there was a 1-inch.
Yeah,
supply.
Waunakee Utilities had raised the issue of a fire hydrant, and so I guess that needs to be addressed yet. So that was one of the conditions of approval, is that they meet with Waunakee Utilities and resolve that hydrant issue.
Okay. That's it for me.
Okay, mine are kind of just past knowledge of the area, son played soccer, all of those kinds of things. Is there any way, or has the school district considered any other parking here additionally?
With,
Glad to hear you're not losing any with the change, but I do also know that that road is between football, soccer, softball. The road gets clogged pretty heavily. On one side, I think there's parking on. So I'm wondering if there's any way that we could get more parking into this site.
so with the budget constraints that they have right now, with what we're doing, we're using the entire budget. So at this point, no parking has been looked at.
Okay, and I'm considering that only from future planning, that we have a grocery store that's gonna be going across the street, that's gonna be coming through this artery over there. So that's why I'm asking about the parking, so that's another question that'll come up probably in a different time and spot. So if there's any room on the other side, even for that softball, maybe there's a potential. I know there's a practice football field over there too. I just know that it gets a little hairy in there because the parking lot is 100% full and everybody flows out onto that street to park, so. If we can get everybody educated to park down on the other side by the football field, that would be great for the soccer, but that's not how it always plays out. I see some of the parents, you probably are parents with soccer, yes, that are here tonight?
I'm the boys coach.
Okay, so if we can get people to park down on the north side of the stadium there where the concession stands are in that way. It's a great walk up there, no problems, but it would alleviate some traffic issues over on this side, so just,
So we can message that on.
if you can message that, that would be a good thing. And then field is crowned? Is that normal for a soccer field to be crowned?
Yes.
I mean,
Well, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be crowned. To me, it depends on the nature of the crown, but this is within the standard that you
Okay.
would expect to see.
It's actually, I'll add to that, it's actually less than the standard because it is synthetic turf. We don't ground it as much.
okay,
But you're right, though, you don't want something which is heavily crowned because that creates issues on the sidelines. Balls like to roll for some reason.
they do. Okay, so those are, I think those are my only questions that I had. With that, so, okay.
I was
so-
just gonna expand on what you already said, and that's really my main comment, is that I think the only issue from a community standpoint is the parking along Simon Crestway has been problematic. And I think you got your answer, that they have budget constraints in terms of trying to expand parking. There might be some physical constraints in terms of trying to expand that parking lot. But maybe there's an opportunity to get some more directional signage, or some, maybe you're suggesting is getting the word out. Because, when you go to the soccer, into a number of soccer games, the parking lots that are close to the football field are always empty. I mean, you can certainly find a spot over there and walk through. But those spots are really the premium, the ones off of Simon Crestway. So maybe we could request, and not make it a condition of approval, is just ask the school district to do some additional parking plans for future budgets, and ask them to really look at communicating or providing some additional signage in order to get to get people to park where they should be parking.
I mean, in all reality, if you look at the distance from the parking lot to the stand spectator side, it's actually probably less than going from the other side anyways, or about the same, comparable. It's not a big difference, it's just if we can get people over on that side, I think that would be a good thing. A recommendation. Does everybody follow what I'm saying there? Yeah.
Because we may, depending on how traffic increases with the grocery store and that development, that, we'll likely have to add some more additional parking restrictions along that roadway.
I know it's a heavy spot for practice pickup from the practice field, and the kids come down the hill. A lot of parents pick up there and wait, and it clogs it up there, so.
Yeah,
Just something.
well, one of the good things about going to a synthetic turf is we'll be able to run most of the practice sessions, on that versus the others. And so ideally then the pickup area becomes within that parking lot itself as opposed to on the street.
So, are we, what action are we exactly? Do you have a?
Yeah, I had a proposed recommended motion, it's just to approve, subject to all outstanding utility issues being addressed to satisfaction of the village engineer. And the water, really should be outstanding engineering issues being addressed to satisfaction of the village engineer. And the water connection approved by the village manager. I think if you wanted to, you could further, not as a condition of approval, but, just give further, requests at the school district. Review the potential parking expansion and communicating or providing additional signage for the parking.
Okay. Do we have that motion?
Make the motion?
Motion by Brad Zeman,
Second,
second by Brian Wallace.
can we have some discussion though?
Right now, we can have some discussion.
Because we talked about some items here that were asked by the staff that when you say satisfaction, you're gonna make sure that those are addressed.
Yeah, the stormwater and the water
That's
connection.
water
right.
with
Yeah,
utility and
correct.
other items, okay.
Okay. Any others? Okay, then I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. No updates for Waunakee Westport since the meeting's canceled tomorrow. One more motion.
Move to adjourn.
Motion by Joe Zitzelberger to adjourn. Second by Chris Thomas. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Just in time.